Welcome back to Football Today. We told you we'd take you to 10 high school battles, so without further ado, let's go. Our first game involves the Admirals from Lorain Admiral King, the Pioneers of Elyria High School. First quarter action. Elyria quarterback Eric Garrettson turns and hands the ball off on the sprint out draw to Lamar Jackson. 47 yards for the score. The point after was successful, and Elyria took a 7-0 lead. We're going on to the second quarter now. As you'll see, Garrettson, this time he's going to air it out. A bomb downfield, and it is deflected and then caught. It was deflected, and Harrison Jackson gathers it in. 50-yard touchdown, 14-zip Elyria. Good reason for the Pioneer band to be whooping it up at halftime. We'll move to third quarter action now. The Pioneers with the ball. The pass coming up right here. Garrettson winds, and it's intercepted right there by the Admirals' Robert Carrion at the 30. And on the very next play, tailback Eric West scoots 18 yards for the score. However, the point after failed, but the Admirals weren't through just yet. Third quarter, Admiral King caps a 47-yard drive, and West plunges over from the 4. Point after missed. Still, Elyria with the lead at 14-12. King with the ball on the 5 of Elyria. And there's that man, West. Eric West gets the ball, crashes in for the go-ahead touchdown. Later in the fourth quarter, West scored again. Admiral King posted a 24-14 win. Let's go to Admiral King in a team huddle just prior to the kickoff. Begin in the first quarter. Saints at their own 29. Admiral defenders force a fumble. That's number 22, Jeff Lindsay, scooping it up and scampers 22 yards for the touch. Point after good. Admirals up 7-zip. After recovering a Southview fumble, Admirals' Eric West is called on. Off tackle for the touchdown. Point after failed. Admirals led it by a score of 13-0. Second quarter, Admirals ball, but watch Southview's Dave Abrams, number 83. Boom, with the vicious hit, a fumble, and that's Alex Sita picking it up on the 15-yard line. 4 plays later, Saints' prayers were answered when number 33, Anthony Farley, plows into the end zone. Saints on the board, trailing 13-7 at the half. Third quarter, Admirals marching, and they're on their 43. Quarterback Joe Morales tosses a bomb. Caught by number 22, Jeff Lindsay, makes a great grab out at the 4-yard line. The very next play, Eric West bowls into the end zone. Point after no good, and Lorain Admiral King wins the battle over Southview. 19-6 was the final. The high school highlights. Let's go out west. We're about to look at a battle between Lorain Admiral King, one of the state's top-ranked teams, and Sandusky High. King to punt coming up first quarter. Watch that. That's punter Mike Caricio. He fakes and hits Jeff Lindsay, who takes it all the way down to the Sandusky 9. Takes quite a few Sandusky players, bring him down. 2 plays later, watch Eric West dance his way through the middle, 10 yards for a touchdown. King 7-0. Sandusky goes to the air. Quarterback Todd Kroom throws 30 yards complete to David Bell, but the drive came up short, and Sandusky came away with no points. Second quarter now, King relies once again on Eric West. A 29-yard run all the way down to Blue Streak territory as he cuts to the outside before just being brought down. But 13 plays later, West goes in from a yard out, and the Admirals led it by a score of 14-0. Things looked really scary, didn't they? In fourth quarter, Todd Kroom plunges in from a yard out for a Sandusky touchdown. Too little, too late. Admiral King won the battle 14-6.
All right, Casey, we have another Division I football battle to highlight, and for that, let's go to Canton. We're at North Canton Memorial Stadium. That is home of North Canton High's Vikings. 9-1 on the year, taking on the Admirals of Lorain Admiral King, coached by Bill Provident. First quarter, Hoover's Bill Brocher takes the snap, play action, rolls right. He'll hit Jimmy Wood in the corner of the end zone. Point after good, it is 7-0. Still first quarter, the Admirals quarterback Joe Morales will put it up, air it out, but Andy Logan, Johnny on the spot, picks it off. A 34-yard return. Watch. Should he cut to the left and go down the sideline? No. He tries that route, and he's brought down 34 yards later on the 21-yard line. Second quarter, Eric West, their workhorse for King, a 19-yard run. Nice blocking. Point after miss, 13-6 score. Watch Hoover set the screen on the weak side here to Tim Kenville. Number 57 right there. That's Todd March with a great block. Kenville goes 25 yards for the touchdown, 21-6 Vikings. King ball, Morales with the pass to Eric West. It's over his head, but it is a lateral. It's fair game for anybody. Andy Logan, Johnny on the spot again, picks it up, and he waltzes into the end zone for the touchdown. Then Mike Brocher will hit another one of his 4 touchdown passes on the night. This one will go to Steve Schick. That's his second touchdown reception, and the Vikings roll. The final score, 40-6 over Admiral King. Loudonville, Redbird. Let's go!
toss was won by Finley. By Admiral King. They've elected to receive. They're going to be, and you're looking at now the Trojans, Finley. They're going to be kicking off. The punter will be Jay Vieira. And you're looking at now the dark-clad Admirals of Admiral King. Back deep will be West, Morales, and Guerrera. And it's a perfect night. Temperature is going to be around the high 20s, about 28, 29 degrees. And it's below freezing, and my feet can attest to it. What about the officials tonight's ball game, Brian?
Okay, the officials we have in tonight's ball game will be working this will be the referee Lee Collins, the umpire Bob Price. Gary Sargent will be working the lines judge. The field judge will be Ron Thorne, and Howie Tipper will be the back judge. That's the men that will be working this important Buckeye Conference football game. It's all right here. Undefeated team going against the once-beaten ball club, the Trojans of Finley.
Finley coming in with just that one loss, as we talked about in the open. They lost that one to the preseason favorite, Fremont Ross, who at one time was ranked second in the state, and they beat him with they lost to them in a 40-yard field goal with 10 seconds left on the clock, and that drops them down into third place in the Division I Region 3 for playoffs. Admiral King, conversely, is ranked number 4 in the state now with a very impressive record in a tough conference, and they are number 2 in the Division I Region 2. So they want a win here. That'll give them the first perfect season in the history of the entire school. And the first time that, if they win the championship, that a Lorain High School since 1959 has won the Buckeye Conference.
For it all right here tonight.
Officials giving the final instructions to the players. Field is in magnificent condition. Looks like they only play maybe 9 games on this field.
In good shape down there. Of course, that middle of the field, usually by now, by the 10th game, is usually torn up. But this is in real good shape. They're getting ready. They're waiting for that clock to run down. They put it on there, and they're letting it run completely down. So the coaches, Bill Providence, you can see, and his football team talking it over, getting the return team. This is a football team that averages very good kickoff returns. Eric West especially strong in returning that kickoff. He is one of the better ones in the Buckeye Conference.
Yeah, that's West right in the middle, and that's our end zone camera. We'll be able to give you some great replays and end zone shots. Brian mentioned Eric West. He's had 9 returns on kickoffs. His average is just under 27 yards per return, and one of them was for a touchdown, and that went for 89 yards. So he's got the speed, and of course he's a very effective cornerback. And the game is underway. We go to an up man, and that is at the 25. And he gets across the 35 to about the 37. That was Robert Carrion. The offensive unit for Admiral King will be Joe Morales, number 16 at quarterback. He's a good one. He's a good ball handler. Eric West will be the tailback, and he's carried 229 times. Really more a powerful fullback. And we got Joe Guerrera, who'll be the flanker. And there's your offensive line. This one goes to West, finds a hole on the small hole on the right side, runs right into Brian Alcott along with Doug Sprouse, who is the 2 linebackers. Defensively, we've got Ben, Gladstone, Schaefer, and Tate. The linebackers are going to be Alcott, Sprouse, Miller, and Mullen the Monster. Alcott and Sprouse are really tough. Good defensive secondary, Barrera, Marshall, and Ben. It is going to be a 2nd and 9. Pitch back goes to West. Gets across the 40, or maybe just to the 40. The defense for Finley doing a good job keying in on Eric West. That was Doug Sprouse again. There is Doug Sprouse, who is a linebacker, and Dave Sprouse, the junior, his brother, who is going to be the fullback. That brings up a 3rd and 6. Ball just over the 40. Let's see if Morales takes to the air with 3rd and long. Doesn't throw very often. No, they give it to West. And West is stopped. No first down as he gets close to the 45, about the 44. And the defense has held, which brings up a punting situation. .10:14 to go here in the first quarter. This will be the first possession for Findlay. Punting is going to be Jericho. This is Helms back deep. It'll bounce, and it's going to be down at about the 20 or 21. The offensive back for Findlay, we've got Dunn, Bradigan, the tailback. He's got 135 carries. David Sprouse and 137. So they split the work. They'll be at fullback and Helms at the flanker. The line, Ben, Logston, Benjamin, Paul, Sprouse. That's Doug, Gladstone, and Ritzler. And everybody in that line has been a 2-year starter. Split backs, and Dunn wants to take to the air. Gets the time, lets it go, completes it for a first down at the 35 to Larry Helms, the flanker. That's his 26th reception of the season, and Bob Carrion was there to bring him down after the reception.
Mike, this time they came out with a flanker on the far side, but the split end, Mark Richard, number 16, was all alone down the field. They'll come back to that pattern soon.
And there is a good defensive front for Admiral King with the linebackers of Perry and Gelb. And they've got Matakovic, the monster, Lindsey, Carrion, and Morales in the secondary. First down for Findlay. They're sitting on their own 35. And they hand it off to number 44, the fullback, Dave Sprouse. He averages just under 5 yards per carry. He runs into Dan Petticord, a senior at 6'2", 243. And Dave Sprouse gets to the 39. Pickup of 4. It'll be a 2nd and 6. Just inside. 9 minutes to go, first quarter. Again, twin running backs. They've got Helms in the slot. The end split, Ritzler. And they give it to Sprouse again, pounding straight up the middle. Picks up about 3 tough yards, and Lee Gelb makes the first hit. Sprouse is junior at 6'3", 228. He was a state qualifier and a shot putter. Good, big, strong ball carrier.
By that time, Era Hollenbuck, number 82, has now come in the receiving position at the tight end for Findlay.
And they've got twin tights now. Set 3rd and 4. And again, first down. Good running again by Dave Sprouse. And the fans across the way love it.
Okay, that time they came up, they were unbalanced to the left. We know they're going to go unbalanced now and then. That's the first time they've been going regular with the pro and the wide slot. That time unbalanced to the left side with Sprouse running behind the power.
So they get to their own 48. Another first down, just inside 8 minutes to go. The end split in the slot, far side. Dunn looks and completes this one inside the 40 to the split end, Mark Ritzler. That's his 19th reception of the year. And
Mark worked out of the left side of the screen, going across, going down about 12 yards, working towards the sideline. There's really no one around him in here. He didn't have time to put it away and make any other move on the play. Driven out of bounds, but another first down.
He dropped it right between Lindsey and the Monsaback Matakovic. Another first down. Yeah, this one goes to the fullback again. Sprouse, the only person who's carried that ball out of the backfield, gets about 5-6 yards on that one. Let's call it 5. So it'll be a 2nd and 5 with 7.5 minutes to go. First quarter. First possessions for Findlay. They started on their own 22, and now they're sitting on the 34. Again, right up the middle, and the defense for the Admirals closed it down. Petticord, Ortez, Orlando, and Jerry Evans.
Time the big guy went up there, there really wasn't a hole on the play. They did seal it down. They made one adjustment on the line there. They took Harvey out for a play and put in number 42 Moore just for a play to give Harvey some instructions. He's back in there.
So Spouse with 5 carries got 19 yards. And a pitch back and a fake handoff to Sprouse. This one comes out to Bradigan. And he runs a lot, but only picked up maybe a yard or two. He's driven out of bounds. Driving him out was Lindsay and Morales.
Now this play is set up. Remember, they've been going to Sprouse so much up the middle. The ball was thrown behind. Quarterback Dunn got it to the left arm instead of the right side to keep the back in the running formation. He had to go back, lost some momentum, couldn't get the corner, didn't get out of it what they wanted on that play.
And they'll bring their chains out to see if they made a first down. By the way, that was a shot from our end zone camera that's on a man lift that was donated by the Atlas Electronics Company of Elyria, Ohio. We want to thank them. And they're about a yard short. Matter of fact, that's the second week in a row that they've provided that man lift for us, and we really do appreciate it. Just great instant lead plays. Good sized crowd here, especially on the Lorain Admiral King, as you would expect. Findlay, of course, is about 45, 50 miles south of Toledo. Sometimes you wonder what they're doing in the Buckeye Conference. There's our man lift. That'll bring up a 4th and about a yard. The ball on the Kings 28, and the official's timeout.
Official called a timeout for equipment repair. The shoe is off. He's having trouble getting it back on. He can do that in a hurry. There won't be a charged timeout. But if it takes any amount of time, the official will have to give them a charged timeout.
Either that or he leaves the field in a hurry.
And go to his side. Head up.
Okay, he does leave.
He's going to have to leave the field.
Leaving that is Mike Ben, the left defensive end, a senior, 6'3", 200. Hollenbach will be coming in, and now they're going to charge him with the timeout. I guess they want to get maybe Ben back in.
I guess they don't want to go without it. And also, of course, it's a 4th down and 1 to go, so they have to make sure the play call they wanted, a little more time to take it over. The official called a timeout for himself, went over. If they can get it right back in without any time going off, then he allows them a little bit. As soon as it looks like the repair is going to take a while, son, you're either going to go out of this game or we're going to have to get a timeout. They call a timeout.
An awful lot riding on this game for both these teams. You hate to be redundant about it, but it is. The conference championship, of course, is always the thing you're aiming for. But since the playoffs, you can find some teams, especially that have gone independent, as opposed to staying in a conference because it's more difficult to make the playoffs when you're in a conference. The Maslins left the conference. Now you've got St. Ed's and a number of other teams around the greater Cleveland area saying, hey, we've got to pick up teams that are going to win at least half their ball games. In a conference, mathematically, you can break out pretty close to 500, but most teams, 3 or 4 anyway, are going to be below 500 when you've got an 8 to 19 conference.
It makes it difficult on some of them. Of course, they do lose out on the conference championships and that kind of thing that works week to week, that so many teams like the neighborhood rivalries and really go at it with one another.
Okay, they got Mike Venn back in, the two-sport man who plays defensive end, number 80. And they're going to power football for that 1 yard. They'll probably go to Sprouse unless the quarterback Dunn takes it. And no, they hand this one off to Bradigan, and he looks like he's got it. They may call the chains out, but it looks like, yes, first down.
First down. They went to an unbalanced line left, all the power to the left in the I formation. It gave him another blocker in there with Sprouse in the fullback spot and Bradigan then in the tailback. So you're unbalanced left. You got an extra blocker there. You got a big guy at Sprouse at 228 pounds. So looks like they can move it, especially if they only have a yard or two to go against that strong 5-2 defense.
Well, Finley has hung onto the ball for 4 minutes. It's also their 4th first down. Dunn, he's got a man open. Dart's completed. This one goes off the Helms, the flanker. And he may be near another first down.
Nice play calling again. Is fake now in there, and he just rolls out, and you can see a nice block just at the corner of your screen. Perfect pass in there to number 40, Larry Helms, the flanker. We talked about him as a good receiver, picking up the yardage, almost the first down, but Dave Sprouse threw a block on the rollout.
Matakovich on the stop. 2nd and 1. This goes to the fullback. He gets the first down. Dave Sprouse gets to the 15. This has been a good sustained drive with a good mixture of running and passing.
Well, that's what it's been. They've gone to the right side with Sprouse, between the tackle and the guard. Then they go unbalanced left. They power. They throw in to the flanker Helms. They've got Mark Retzler in on the play. Dunn has completed 3 out of 3 on the drive for 37 yards.
And 8 times on the ground, 2 for Bradigan and 6 for Sprouse. And this is Bradigan. Doesn't find much as he gets just inside the 15, runs into lead go. The linebacker with help from Mike Berry, the other linebacker. Sam Dunn is replacing Brian Miller, who had a shoulder injury in October 5th in the Lorain game. That was this is the 5th game he's sat out. He was 34 of 53. With 6 touchdowns and no interceptions, but Sam Dunn has come in and done a good job with the Trojans. He's going to throw again. Coming across on the end, and if he hadn't have slipped, it would have gone all the way. Morales there defending. That was picked up by Mike Ben, the tight end. That's his 11th reception of the air.
Boy, you talk about a variety of attack now. See here, the fakes really held it up. Nice job by John Bradigan. Then quarterback Sam Dunn stood up. That was from the left side. Mike Ben coming across. There's when he just lost the balance and went down. Might have had a chance for it all. Picked up some good yards. They're ready.
So it's going to be 1st and goal. And Sprouse, touchdown. They traveled 150 miles, but that was worth it. Sam Dunn is down inside the 5, but Sprouse gets the touchdown. And that drive took just under 6 minutes, and they traveled from their own 22. 78 yards in 6 minutes and mixed it up beautifully. 4 for 4 in the air and 10 times on the ground. Here's the replay. See if we can see how Dunn got hurt.
Where he went down on as he went out of the screen, I couldn't tell, but what we saw was the big guy go over a couple of yards, and we saw some tough line play. The offensive line surged out. Defense had good shot underneath. It was just good, hard, solid ball, but the big guy got up underneath. Dunn is okay. Everybody is happy. You can see his offensive teammates are really cheering him on because they need quarterback Dunn, who had a great first drive here early in the quarter.
Mark Ritzler will be trying the point after. Holding will be Tony Musaw. High snap, and it is blocked. Blocking that one was Jeff Lindsay. And that's what happens on a high snap. It takes that fraction of a second to bring that ball down. And when it does, that end can come in. There's a clean block. So the score with 7:10 showing on the clock in the first period, it is Findlay 6 and Lorain Admiral King nothing. Plays 550, 78 yards, and they were mechanical. Getting ready to kick will be Jay Vieira. Back deep will be Matakovich, West, and Morales. It's going to go to the up man at the 22. Still on his feet, and fights to the 45. That was Joe Guerreri, who was one of the up man, and he gives the Admirals just super field position, first down from their own 45.
Okay, on the kickoff now, you can see it was a short kick. It was up even before the 20-yard line, but it was a nice run back on the halfback, moving up on the play as they get ready to put that ball in the offense.
Rolling out is Morales. And good defensive play by the linebacker, Doug Sprouse, the senior, 6 foot 200, put a hit on Joe Morales trying to go outside, and I think that was just a planned run because he didn't look like he was even looking downfield, and he loses 4 yards on that one. That brings up a 2nd and 14.
He took a quick reverse spin, put the ball away immediately, so the linebacker, that's that 4-3 stunning linebacker. You can see a linebacker moving in on it.
Fullback tries to go off the right side. That is Willie Moore, and he again runs into the linebacker, Alcott. Makes the first strong hit. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. That makes it 3rd and 10. Just inside, 3 minutes to go, first quarter, 6-0 score. Admiral King down by 6. And Lindsay goes back in the lineup as a split end. He and Jesse are bringing in plays from head coach Bill Provident. Well, it's going deep. Almost intended this one for Lindsay. It was in and out of the hands of Jay Vieira. He had the greatest chance, but he was popped up in the air, and Lindsay almost was able to grab it. Lindsay at 5'10", 162.
No doubt who Joe Morales, number 16, is going for. He's looking for a split end who was out wide. He winds up, really lets loose with it. Jeff Lindsay coming down a straight fly pattern. You can see now the defensive back, Jay Vieira, number 94, having a shot at it, but neither one are able to hold on to that ball.
Carrico will be punting. Back deep will be Helms. They're coming. This gets it away. Nice high kick. Helms takes it at the 20. And he's driven back, but his forward progress will take him to about the 25. Mike Berry and his helmet right in the numbers. So the defense for the Trojans is held the second time. As the clock shows 2:15 to go, first quarter. Good, hard-hitting ball game. We've got Retzler, the end split near side. Flanker, Helms to the far side. I formation with Bradigan at tail. Sprouse at fullback. Bradigan gets the call. Tucks that ball in, makes sure no one can strip it, and gets all the way to the 30.
Well, Bradigan makes sure no one's going to take that away from him. They line up there in a wide split end with the flanker out wide on the other side. One thing to watch here in the offensive spacing, it's a wide spacing on the offensive line for Findlay. Sometimes if the defense goes too wide with it, you get some good line blocking. You take the angle on it and get some nice 2-on-1 blocking angles from the offense.
The end is split and a slot back to the left. This goes to fullback. Sprouse! Boy, was he a great runner. He was hit near the 40 and got all the way to about the 46. Finally, Bob Carrier on the free safety had to bring him down, but a strong, powerful runner.
See, this one again is coming up here to the right side. He sees the hole over a little bit further right than maybe it was supposed to be. Dave Sprouse, number 44, works up here. Look at the leg drive there, the punishing runner that he is on the deep man coming up for the tackle.
Another first down for Findlay. This is Bradigan, and he's tripped up just as he gets about 2 yards. The forward progress, they say, will take him close to the midfield strike, about the 49. Tripping him up was Lee Harvey. Mark Ritzler leaves. In comes Tony Musaw. And Musaw was at the wrong side. He goes split far side now. Again with Helms in the slot. hands off, Sprouse. He gets into Admiral King territory to 48. Perry there to stop him.
What's impressive right here is this offensive line that we're looking at right there. Benjamin and Paul and Doug Sprouse really coming back. That time was Bill Benjamin, number 70, from the left side, coming in tight right, going hard down on the ground for his block.
What a story I'll tell you about Bill Benjamin after this next play. And time runs out. That ends the first quarter with a score. Findlay 6, Admiral King nothing. And Brian, I'll be back right after this.
I'm Neil Gabler, co-host of Sneak Previews, your weekly guide to the new movies in town.
And I'm Jeffrey Lyons. Next time, we'll take a special look at the trend towards patriotism in recent American movies. We'll have scenes from An Officer and a Gentleman and Red Dawn, among other films.
So join us for the new patriotism on the next Sneak Previews.
Tomorrow night at 8.
A special election year presentation of The Advocates. 1 hour of expert testimony, courtroom confrontation, and balanced debate to help you decide who should be president. William Rusher, publisher of the National Review, will argue for Ronald Reagan, and Massachusetts Congressman Barney Frank will be the advocate for Walter Mondale. PBS political correspondent Judy Woodruff will moderate. Before you vote, watch The Advocates.
Sunday night at 10 o'clock. WVIZ TV Cleveland.
And welcome back to the George Daniels Field. Mike Massel along with Brian Powers. And I said I'd mention something about Bill Benjamin, number 70. He's the left guard. You watch him. He had knee surgery on the 19th of this month. On the 26th, he was playing with microscopic surgery. And the amazing part of it is he wasn't sure what to do, so he goes to one of his teammates, Dave Tate, who's defensive end, tucked it over with Tate's father, who happens to be a surgeon. So he did the operation. That's how you get him back in 6-7 days.
Well, he's doing a job there, working the left guard and left side. Bill Benjamin, fine blocker.
Tell you what, he's got great size, 6 feet, 235, 2-year starter, senior. The game so for the entire first quarter belonged to the Trojans of Findlay. Great offense, defense was tough. They have a 3rd and 5. And again, Dunn wants to take to the air. Being chased and sacked. Sacking was Lee Dell for great job. It was a great defensive play, which could move the momentum now to the Admirals, because that takes the Trojans all the way back to their own 41, and it's a 4th and long.
Well, I'll tell you, on that 5-man front, they had a good call that time because the linebacker on the right side was on the go. He blitzed to the right side, and that's where the rollout was called. Some good scouting on the play. They diagnosed that exactly the way they wanted to stop the quarterback.
That's Vieira. He's going to be punting to Lindsay and Matakovic. It's going to be good high kick. Fair catch. And losing it. And it's lost. It goes out of bounds.
No control.
Getting out of the hands of John Matakovic, and that had to give Bill Providence a lump in his throat.
Oh, first Coach Providence was glad they were right there on the sideline because it was a fumble, but as long as there was no control on the play, Findlay, although they touched the ball, of course, didn't have it. So it'll go over to the offensive team, Admiral King. We get a chance. We can see the deep man coming back. The fair catch was called, which stopped them. At least it kept him away from it. Right here now, if he could have had it before, it trickled out of bounds, but he didn't. Here we go.
First down from the 30. This one goes off to their fullback, Willie Moore, trying to pound up that left side. He runs right into Dave Tate.
Like in that first quarter, Admiral King had the ball for 8 plays, 8 yards rushing. That was it for total offense in their 3 minutes and 45 seconds. On the other hand, the Trojans of Findlay, 18 plays, 55 on the ground, 49 in the air, 104 yards in 8 minutes and 15 seconds.
Right formation, it's power eye. Morales gets it out, in and out of the hands of Joe Guerreri, the flanker, who's been a good receiver all year. Back defending with him was the monster back Bill Mullen, but Guerreri had time, but I think he started to run before he really got control of that ball and brought it in. So now that means it's going to be a 3rd and 9, and Morales is going to have to take to the air again, which means that the defense from Findlay can just lay back and come. They got in split far side. They got Guerreri in slot to the far side. It's a goal! A little too wide for Guerreri again.
The team that likes to set up their run, they'd like to run a little bit more than they have been able to, but with the 2nd and 3rd down with long yardage, they had to go to the pass. The first one was an opening that time, just not a good connection on the play. No one there, thrown out of bounds. They'll have to go to punt again.
Well, and that's a 3rd possession here in the game, and each time it was forward punt. So Guerreri, Carrico will be kicking, and we again have Helms deep. Helms has not caught one. He's not had to. It'll be down where Findlay punted from the last possession at their own 41. That was a 29-yard punt for Carrico, who's averaging about 32 for the season. So the Trojans find themselves good field position. Second-year head coach Dan Evans. Win here could give this a 3-way tie here in this tough conference. Fake handoff to the fullback. Give it over to his tailback, John Bradigan, and Bradigan gets enough for a 1st down as he crosses midfield and gets to the Admiral's 48.
Now watch the quarterback. Now Dunn comes out. See the good fake. Boy, he hold it in there. Number 44, Sprouse, gave it off to Bradigan to the right side. Look at the turn on it. Big guy, 5'10", 185, gets the extra yards. Admiral King's in a 5-2, but they play the free safety and the deep man rather deep. So once you get past the linebacker, you've got some room.
Another 1st down for the Trojans. This time they do give it to the fullback, and does Dunn take a hit? Sprouse gets across the 45 to about the 43, and Lee Harvey really put a shot on Sam Dunn. Harvey at about 228 and Dunn only 162. The end, Ritzler splits to the right. In the slot goes Helms. They've got a 2nd and 5. Sprouse gets the call. He gets the 1st down. Still on his feet, and he gets inside the 35 to about the 32 or 3, where Bob Carrion again, the free safety, had to bring him down. The holes are opening up, and then Sprouse does it on his own.
Yeah, he just goes through here. Again, now it's tightened up. He moves a little to the left. He breaks one tackle, goes in, and again, too many tackles being made by the safety and the far outside cornerbacks. That means you're picking up a lot of room when number 88, Bob Carrion, has to make the tackles.
And you saw number 82, Jerry Evans, in on that stop. And again, the fake to the fullback. Vaulting over his line was John Bradigan. He may have gotten a yard on that, but I think he paid the price for it. Number 88 is Carrion. That's his 4th solo hit. 9 minutes exactly to go. 1st half, 6-0 score. Trojans of Findlay are leading. And they're now on Admiral King's 33. Helms is winged out to the near side. Ritzler is split to the far. And there goes their fullback, Sprouse. Boy, he is some kind of runner. Great moves again. Carrion in on the stop along with Joe Morales, the quarterback.
Nice, sharp, crisp plays in there. That time I had my own ISO on Jamie Longston, number 76, who goes 6'2", 271 on the left side. That's who's making a block, cutting down in there, where the fullback Sprouse, or the veer back this time, comes across right off his tail and moves on his own and gets down there and picks up the big yards. And right now they're measuring to see how many he picked up.
Enough for the first down.
He did it.
And that is now the 10th first down for Findlay. They are moving with complete authority on the ground, and when they need to, not when they need to, when they want to, they're throwing it as effective.
They're not always throwing just on that obvious passing down. They're trying to mix it up. They have a lot going now in their play calling.
Dunn on the fake handoff. He gets away. A sack, and he picks up good yardage. Lee Gelb had Dunn in his grasp, but he was able to get away. And he picks up about 4 yards.
Again, now we talked about the first down play. They're going to the pass, but that time the linebacker Gelb 58. They're 1 for 1 now. The last time that he shot in, he got him, but that time Sam Dunn got away from the play and was able to pick up some yards.
He gets 4 on that. That makes it 2nd and 6. The ball on Admiral King 17. Oh, there we go. Gelb said, I missed you last time, but not this time, Mr. Dunn.
2.
That's his 2nd sack, and we'll give him 2.5. He almost got the last one.
Quarterback just a stand up, trying to throw a little hitch right away. The linebacker came in. No one, of course, saw him. And when you call a defense like that, there really isn't anybody on that play who's going to be able to pick up a quick linebacker. Just, again, the right defensive call.
Well, they got 3rd and 10. He lost 4 on that. Here's Dunn. He's looking deep. This one for Ritzler. Touchdown. Hanging right on him was Joe Morales, but a great reception by the split end Mark Ritzler for his 4th touchdown of the season. And that crowd across the way can be heard very plainly on this very silent Admiral King side. It's now a 12-0 ball game with 8:52 remaining in the first half. And now Dunn is 5 for 5 for a total of 70 yards. The kicking will be Mark Ritzler. Holding will be Musa. Oh, they're going to go for the 2. Wide open and broken up. Intended that one for Ritzler. Great defensive job by Bob Carrion.
This is the touchdown now. It's fake, and there's just a inside man pulling to get in front of the quarterback all the time, and he wanted the poise. He left it up there so that the man could come back. That's number 16, the split end. Mark Ritzler came back, took it away from the defensive man. They struggled for it. The offense won on it, 6 points on the board. Findlay again on the score now with their 12 points. They decided to run for a pass for it for their 2 points, but couldn't connect on the play.
That's what happens when you're trying to forget the name of the guy who's going to try the extra point. I'm looking at my chart, and I don't realize they're going for 2.
Well, after they missed that first one, they decided they need a couple of them.
Vieira will be kicking. Going back will be West, Morales, and Lindsay. This one to Morales at about the 10. Oh, he could go, and he gets all the way to the 45. Great run by Morales. Joe Vieira brought him down, but a nice return.
Morales does a little bit of everything for the Admiral King Ball Club coming up now. You can see him waiting for the blockers. Went to the left side, came out here now, and just a couple of men couldn't get enough to the outside. Joe Morales, a good return, gets his offense in good position for the play call.
Well, let's see what the King Admirals can do with it now. Big fake handoff to West. And going deep. In and out of the hands of Jeff Lindsay. Good job defensively by Steve Benn. The juniors stayed right with Lindsay.
I'll tell you, I thought Jeff Lindsay was going to have something there. It was a beautiful job by, first of all, Morales, who took his time and saw Lindsay coming down the field. Now it's a rollout. He looks at Lindsay right now. Lindsay's covered. Lindsay then decides to turn up and go all the way down the field. Morales winds up, throws it down there. He puts it up high so the split end can come up for it. Can see him fighting here. A nice job now. Steve Benn, number 25, to knock it down.
Still have a 2nd and 10. Taking the air again. Man is out for a loose ball. I think he was intending that one for number 88. That's, Robert Carrion. And coming up was Lindsay, and it just hit him and went out of his hand. And now Dunn is 5 for 5, but Morales 0 for 5. And that's the difference in the ball game. Dunn's passes have been very effective. And we have now a 3rd and 10. Slider to the near side. Draw play. And he may have gotten the first down. Great effort by Eric West. That's the first thing the fans have had to cheer about this first half.
He put the power to it that time. Depends on the spot.
And they are spotting it right on the 45.
And it's not popular on this side of the field because it's the Admiral King fans thought the spot should have been moved up a little bit more, but it was Eric West, number 19, moving down on the draw play. Everybody dropping back a little deeper on the pass. Now it's a 4th down. 1 yard to go. You have to make the decision. The punter is in.
Well, Mullen and Marshall, the ones who brought him down. We've got Carrico, who's going to be punting, and they have no one deep. They're looking for a fake punt. Everybody was coming. The punt is going to be high. See if it stays out of the end zone. Inside the 5, and it'll be down at the 3. That was a 41-yarder. Nice kick by Mike Carrico. First possessions were from their own 22, 26, and then the 40 or their own 41. This is the first time they've had their backs against the ball, with the ball. So it'll be a 1st down with 5:21 to go. First half, they're leading by 12, but their ball is now sitting on their own 3. Just power football up the middle with Dave Sprouse, or off the right tackle. And they run right into Ortez. Get out to about the 5. They'll spot it right on the 5. We've stopped. So coming to talk to the some of the officials. We're talking to the coaches. So the clock is stopped 4:52. The running of Sprouse has been the big story here because of 13 carries and 69 yards, along with the great passing of Dunn, their quarterback, who is 5 for 5. Only 17 yards for West, but he's only carried the ball 4 times during the season. He's had something like 229 carries. 2 carries for Moore. And Morales, of course, 0 for 5 in the passing department.
Like the officials have come over now and are talking to the bench and then trying to get a hold of someone up here at the clock. Has something to do with the clock itself. 6:52 on the clock. It says 4:52 on the clock, though. So I think that's something we're going to have to see what happens. Now they're going now across the field, explaining to the Trojans. What you have is there, you can see the coach trying to let him know exactly what happened on the play. We're not sure. It has to do with the clock. It has to do with the time on the clock.
They say the clock started or something with about 8 minutes at what they're telling us up here, and it should be something at 6:52 as opposed to 4:22. It could have jumped to 2 minutes. Well, the yards are wrong too. It's not a 2nd and 16. It's only going to be a 2nd and about 8.
Well, once they stopped that, I guess they were just trying to get this time fixed. No one is moving it yet because they're just not sure what's happening.
Well, of course, if they cannot get the clock set right, and know when they're running down now the seconds, they'll run that down to 0, then they can punch up to 6, and then they can run. They'll have to run it down again, apparently, unless they have to run the whole 4:30 down. Of course, they have the facilities to keep the time on the field. There's Dan Evans in his second year, doing an excellent job. I talked to him if you were with us in the pregame, and he said it's an awful lot going on this ball game, and that the fact of what happened with just 10 seconds to go, they're leading it by an 11-10 score by 1 point. They give them Fremont Ross the ball on their own 28 after a punt. With 2 minutes showing on the clock, they march down the field to the Findlay 28. And they got a young man that kicked the field goal, 40-yarder officially, and it would have gone 50. And they won it. They lost it 11-13. Okay, the clock is right now. It's being stopped at 6:42 is where it should stop. And nope, they're still running it. 39. Okay, because now they've won the clock. So here we go. It's going to be a 2nd and 8. Ball carrier was Sprouse. The hole was there, was pulled up very quickly by Lee Gelb along with Joe Morales. Finally wrestled him down. But that Dave Sprouse is a handful at 6'3", 228.
He is a good one to have down in there. All they're doing is putting some power football first to the right side, then over to the left, just moving in there, trying to get that first down, but trying to keep it inside and getting himself away from the goal line.
And the way he's running right now, they said coming in he only had a 4.5 average, but he's doing a lot better than that in this ball game. He's just running like a man possessed. They got a 3rd and 5. Here's where the defense for Admiral King has got to tighten down. Done, and he is sacked. Good defensive play by the Admiral's defense, led by Lee Gelb. Number 58, the senior at 5'10", 175 pounds. And that is his involvement in his 3rd sack of the evening. So now the Admiral should find themselves in good field position. Vieira will be standing at the back of the end zone, and now they whistle. The clock stopped again. The line judge is calling now over to Evans.
Yeah, he's going over to the side now, going over with the coach of Findlay. There's a whistle on the sideline somewhere.
Somebody in the fans probably.
Outside, so whatever it is, they made sure it was called the attentions to everybody on the side, and they're ready for action.
All right, we've got Lindsay and Matakovic back deep for Lorain. Going to be a high short kick. And catching this one was the young man who almost lost the last one, Matakovic. On that fair catch, he is driven out of bounds rather hard. That was Larry Helms that brought him down. So the Admirals will take over in the best field position they've had in a long time. They're inside Findlay's 40. That's a 34-yard punt with a 6-yard return.
Well, they picked up 20 yards difference now. Providence on that play. The offense is ready to roll.
West looking deep. It was very, very short by about 7 yards. Intended that for Jeff Lindsay, a split end. Dave Tate was back there with him. What Morales did is hand it off to West. West stopped the line of scrimmage. Alley-ooped it back to Morales. I don't think it fooled too many people.
No, it didn't. Usually it's either there or it isn't. Now you can see here's the run coming up now. It goes back on the flicker to the quarterback. Let's see if there's any hit here as he gets rid of it. I think he got it off. Tate put it in there lower, but Morales had a chance to get it off, turn the wrist over on it. It falls short, but there was a good defensive play by the deep back, Jeff Marshall. 28 on good coverage against Jeff Lindsay.
And now
we're still talking about a whistle. There's a whistle on the sideline over there. They're getting the referee and the umpire and line judge together, making sure that who has it, somebody gets it off. It seems to be over on the far side.
Well, remember, the officials can call a penalty against the fans or a bench.
3-4. Because they'll be loose on that next
You can hear that now.
18. No, I'd rather have Eric running the ball.
We got a 2nd and 10 now for Lorain. And a counter play handoff to the flanker back, Joe Guerreri, and he runs into Jim Schaefer, a small hole. He got through it, but Schaefer then closed it up very quickly. Schaefer, as Guerreri gets inside the 35. And that'll bring up a 3rd, and let's call it a long 5.
Okay, now do you go with the running back, Eric West? Remember, you got that 4th down, and you can go for it. So a decision here now, do you go with the short pass, or do you take a chance and go with 2 runs?
West gets this call, tries to get us outside, follows his blockers. I don't think he got the 1st down. Let's see where they spot this one. Marshall there in a stop, and there's a good look at Eric West. Averaging 4.5 yards per carry, 17 touchdowns.
Oh,
and
he got
first down. And that is the first down for Lorain Admiral King.
There's a good call, this short side of the field. Eric West, number 19, moving up and getting some more on his own, going for the extra couple yards for the 1st down. If he didn't make it, they would have the 4th down to come back with the same type of play.
Ball is now at the 29. 1st down for Lorain. Fullback, power football straight up the middle. You heard that hitting. Willie Moore gets very little because he runs into Doug Sprouse along with help from Dave Tate.
Good defensive play there on the 4-man over on the far side where the linebackers are. Miller, Sprouse, Alcott, they really move laterally well against the ball. Keep movement in there and make a lot of tackles.
Lindsay, the end is split to far side. Morales looks for Lindsay. Across the middle. Completes it. And it's going to be a flag. So Jeff Lindsay pulls in a perfect pass from Morales. Jay Vieira was there, and I think the flag was going to be called on him.
I would think so. Morales back. Now he's looking for the split end coming across from the left side of the field. Across to the right, it's Jeff Lindsay, number 22. Pass is there. Lindsay is there. They hit on a connection, and the deep back now. The flag goes up. Looks like it would be against the offensive ball club. All they're doing now is walking off the measurement, making sure of where it would be.
And that is the first flag we've had in this ball game, and we only have 3:13 to go in the half. Well played high school football game.
Now remember, in high school ball, if it's a defensive penalty, it'd be back to line of scrimmage, 15 yards, automatic 1st down, or they would have the option to take it where it is, depending which is the better option. Is claimed from referee Lee Collins to the offensive captain against the defense, and it's refused. We'll take the completion, chalk one up for Morales to Jeff Lindsay.
That was a big first completion for Morales, and they'll have a 1st and goal from the 9. That'd be a real boost for them if they can punch it in here before halftime. And that's where it's going to happen, right there at the line of scrimmage. The offensive line has got to fire out to give West some running room. Puts his head down, second effort, he lunges for a yard or 2. That was Mike Ben. There are 2 brothers, Mike Ben, the senior, who's the left defensive end, and Steve Ben is junior, who is the left cornerback. They'll spot the ball at the 7. 2-yard pickup for Eric West. So 2nd and goal from the 8 or 7. Again, West cuts it up inside, follows his blocker, and gets close to the goal line. Eric West keeps his hand on that blocker in front of him and just follows him in, and that's all
that's how close it is.
They need to go to get a touchdown. So it's a 3rd down. West has been the most effective runner thus far for them. He has 29 yards and 7 carries, but Willie Moore at 205 is your power runner. West gets the pitch. West gets in the end zone. And now the fans from Lorain Admiral King have something to cheer about. They get on the scoreboard with 1:52 remaining in a half.
Well, we can see it right here. It's just a pitch. A couple guys in front of you. Get the quarterback there. Help for a block. A lot of room. No one there. Comes through. Eric West, the tailback. 5'10", 187 pounds. Another touchdown.
But did you see the block that Willie Moore put on the spring West so he could turn it inside? The extra point will be kicked by Joe Guerreri. Holding will be Lindsay. And looks like a flag. Delay of game.
Delay of game. The kicker was over on the side getting the shoe ready. You can't blame him. He had to make sure it was set. But he had to do a little repair on the right shoe, and it was just long enough to delay the game. So it's going to be 5 yards deeper for him.
Guerreri's a good field goal kicker. He's not going to put his tee down at the 15. That gets a 25-yarder. It's up, and it's good. The score with 1:52 to go in a half is Lorain Admiral King 7 and Findlay 12. And those 2 extra point attempts, one the kick and one the pass, could be helped decide this ball game.
I think everybody is thinking that, especially over on the Findlay side. The fans are just trying to figure that out, but right now they have to figure out a little better defense because Admiral King moved down that field on a nice combination of some running, and a big one was a pass to Morales to Lindsay. And 8 plays in the scoring drive, 39 yards, 3 minutes and 27 seconds.
Well, the defense was able to hold Findlay inside the 5 after that great punt of 41 yards by Carrico. They got the ball in excellent field position on their own, on the 39-yard line of Findlay, and were able to, with that great pass, to complete. Guerreri is ready to kick, and he'll be kicking to Helms and Ritzler. Helms on the far side. And it's going to be taken at the 20. This is Luthen. He has hit hard and immediately. That was the Principe.
First down.
He plays on the specialty teams, and he gives, again, a more boost to Admiral King as Findlay will take over first down from their own 28. Clock showing 1:40 to go in a half. Stay with us. Got a great halftime show for you by the marching band from Lorain Admiral King. And also, of course, we'll have scoreboard. Final week of the season. Done. Lets it go. Cuts it short. Picking this up. Helms again. Helms gets across the 40 to about the 42. Enough for a first down. Carry on the stop. And immediately a timeout being called. Unless they have not. They just want to move the chains.
I think it's just for the change because the offense is ready to go. They're up there with a play call already.
Well, this is what they call the 1:40 drill. Dunn loses it. Barney picks it up and gets away. Still on his feet and way back. Boy, they came right after him. Willie Moore was in there. They had about 3 of them.
Well, it didn't start out very well for Sam. Timeout called on the play, but Dunn just didn't get the ball. Went back with it. You can see now he's disgusted with himself, and sometimes when you hurry to the point of confusion, you wish you had a few extra seconds. Sam now, he thinks he can get back around this way, puts it away. There's just nowhere to go. He knows it. He just puts the shoulder down and try to not take any more loss than he had to, but he's way back there. He realizes it. They lost a bundle on that play.
Yeah, Harvey almost had him. He just kept running around, but all of a sudden just ran into too many Admirals. That was a 23-yard loss on that sack, and that one goes to Moore. We'll give it to him. Gelb has 3 and an almost.
That's one almost.
Clock to stop with 1 minute and 1 second remaining here in the first half. 7-12 score. Down by 5 is Lorain Admiral King, but the momentum seems to have swung a little bit to the Admirals now here in the later stages of this first half. Defense has held. They are able to score. Got that one big completion in. And the other completions, of course, were down and outers. This one was down and cutting across the middle, and it was laid in there perfectly by Morales. So it's going to be a 2nd and 27 now. And they've got Helms now to the near side, and they've got Usaw at the far side as a split end. And Dunn hands off to Strauss. And he gets tripped up as he crosses the, what about the 28?
Like there's a flag on the play against the offense. Finley now with a fumble, and the quarterback going back, losing it. And again now with the holding call. Have to settle down somewhat here.
Well, that's 15 more. You might as well take it. There's a 2nd and 27 to make it 3rd and about 20.
The holding offense declined. 3rd down.
So they'll spot this one right at about the 30, and a timeout's going to be called by Lorain.
Well, what they're doing, the reason, of course, that they declined the penalty is they wanted the down, 3rd down. They hope to get that 4th down situation, so the ball has to come over to them. That's why they call the timeout, hoping that there is some time in the clock, which there should be, where they can get some kind of play right before the half, because they're in good field position. And if it gets into that 4th down situation and they have to punt, they'll get into it and will try, of course, to block it or get that return on or come up with that great play right at the end of a half. So that's why they call the timeout. Finley, again, of course, it gives them a little chance to regroup, because the last couple of plays have been disasters for them with moving back, losing the big yards, over 20-some on the sack and the fumble, and then having their problems again right there with the 15-yard penalty.
Clock showing 56 seconds to go. It's going to be a 3rd and 22 now for the Trojans, sitting on their own 30. It's a draw play, and it didn't fool too many people. Hand off to John Bradigan. He runs right into Cyrus Ortiz, and in the middle guard, he brings him down hard. That brings up a 4th timeout going to be called by Admiral King, stopping the clock with 49 seconds. They want to take that punt and see what they can do with it.
Yep. Now they have to decide. They're going to have 2 men back, so that leaves a bundle up there front on the going for it. Let's see if they do with the rush, see where the pressure comes from, see if they're set up and try to get a return. 49 seconds.
That was the last time out for Admiral King. He's up there 3rd.
Get the full timeout, gentlemen. King is ready to go, of course. They call the timeout. Officials are giving a full timeout. They'll let them know when it's ready for action. Official now is checking.
There you're looking at Jay Vieira. We've got Lindsay and Matakovic back waiting for the punt, and it could be almost blocked. Majesi gets it in his own 30 and runs out of room. Gets out of bounds with 39 seconds showing on the clock. And the offense, the Admirals will take over.
Well, they gave it their best shot on the punt rush when they were coming across. Good snap from center, good deep kick formation. He got it off, a nice kick on the play to drive him deep. So it was a very good kicking game right now going for the Findlay Trojans.
And that was a 40-yard kick. They've got Lindsay in, split to the right. In the slot, Guerreri. Looking for almost. Lindsay, just at 5'10", was about 1.5 inches too short. The back defending on that was Steve Benn for Findlay. The completion stops the clock with 35 seconds to go. Remember, great halftime show, marching band from Lorain Admiral King, and then we'll have scoreboard. So you stay with us. in the slot. Ferrari. Again, the end split. Going deep is Lindsay. Goes out of bounds. Nice catch over the shoulder again. Ben was with him, but just went a little too wide. But it was a nice catch. If that had been in bounds, he'd have been long gone.
Same kind of pattern they completed one on earlier on their drive for their touchdown. What he does, it's just a flooding of the zone pattern to the outside. And then as the back comes across, in this case a split back, Lindsay comes across there. And Morales looks, Lindsay's only about 10 yards to the sideline. Now he turns up as soon as they get Morales moving on the play, trying to beat the deep back. Steve Ben, the junior, comes across. Good defense. He ran out of room. The sideline stopped the play.
That was Mike Ben harassing Morales, and that was Steve Ben, the brother, who was defending on that pass play. That was West, who runs right into Dan Gladstone. And timeout is going to be called by Finley, starting the clock. 17 seconds to go. Now it's our turn. We want the ball back.
They did it. They didn't think they'd get a chance to. And, of course, King would like to have that ball just 19 or 17 seconds longer, so you'd have to take a chance with this play. It's a matter of what they want to do on it.
Well, they've got one more timeout left in this half. And they should get the ball in respectable field position. Probably near the 35 or 40. And Dunn has been very effective as a passer. And he's got Helms, a great receiver. Carrico stands inside his 20. And they are going to go for the block. Nobody back deep. He gets it away, a beauty. It'll take a nice roll. It gets back inside the 25 and will die at about the 23. It was a gamble. That was a 46-yard punt. The last two, one was 41. The one before this one, and now this one 46. The clock now shows 4 seconds remaining in the half. I think I may have just mentioned in passing that Finley is about 150 miles from here, so they have not brought their band here to Lorain. So we'll only have the one band. That's the Admiral King marching. Admirals, as time runs out, that ends the first half with a score. Finley 12, Lorain Admiral King 7. Across the way, there you see Dan Evans, probably having some problems that he wants cleared up. Not necessarily a problem, but maybe just a clarification on something. But he's got a 5-point lead, 12-7. Across the way, the band, the Admiral King Marching Admirals, under the direction of Bill Sproul, and the announcer will be Jim Poppill. Let's go down and enjoy the halftime.
71 for the Trojans of Finley. 85 total yards in passing to only 21 on the other side for King. 59 total to 156. Penalties not a factor at all. No turnovers in the ball game.
King will be Joe Guerreri. The first down and more as he gets inside the 10. Boy, he has really taken command on the ground, hasn't he?
He's taking charge out there. That's why he's one of the leading rushers in the conference right now going into the last.
Boy, he has really taken command on the ground, hasn't he?
He's taking charge out there. That's why he's one of the leading rushers in the conference right now going into the last Friday night of football in the Buckeye Conference. Eric West right up there, over 1,000 yards from tailback position. Moving along now, getting some more carries, showing why he's a great halfback.
And he ran right over Doug Sprouse at 200, the linebacker. So it's going to be first and goal from the 9. West gets the pitch. And he is dropped for a loss back at the 10. Good defensive play. That's number 32, Brian Alcott, just a super linebacker. He's got 8 sacks, 115 tackles, and 31 of those solos. Leading tackler for the Trojans. In comes Lindsay with the, carry on with the play. with a 2nd and goal now from the 10. And they've got a single run in the I formation. Pitch back goes to West. He gets inside the 5. And he carried a couple of Trojans with him. Elcott being one of them and Gladstone being the other. And he's been very active so far in the opening 3 minutes here of the 3rd quarter.
There has. They've been most of the yardage on a drive to the right side. That time they came to the left. They were stopped for 2 yards, and then they came back to it again with a little different blocking assignment. It worked for them. He picked up the yards.
Lindsay is the end split to the near side, and it's going to be a 3rd and goal from the 5. Again, they give it to West. Touchdown! And they love it here in Lorain. Good crowd, and they find their Admirals taking the lead 13-12 for the first time in the ball game. You'll see West, he is hit at about the 3. Right here, and then just lunges in. Timeout is going to be called by Lorain Admiral King, because if they get another one, that'll make it 14-12, and a field goal could beat them.
Yep, they're thinking that already, but that's what they want to make sure how they will go at it, depending on what they do with their kicking game. They want that time moving the ball, keeping it on the ground, just moving with one man doing most of the ball carrying that time, and that is the halfback. 17 carries now for 69 yards, moving it down the field. They got the ball on the kickoff, remember, on a fumble with Finley. From there, they took over and just kept moving with play calling, alternating right and left, coming back to the left side. Then when they needed to the right side, off tackle, with West coming through, going up to 5 yards and getting touchdown. And a timeout called on there. See what they'll do on the extra point.
Well, they've got Carey on number 88 in there. He is 5'8", about 6 foot, I think. 5'9", I'm sorry, 5'9", 150 pounds. He's in for Lindsay, who's only 5'10". They've got Harvey at 6'3", number 81, who'd be the tight end. And Guerreri, who is 5'10". Now they've got Lindsay in as tight end. Rolling out, Morales completes it. Pulling this one in is Joe Guerreri, the flanker. And that's got to give a big boost to the Admirals, because now they've got a 3-point lead, and it's going to take a touchdown to beat them and a field goal to tie.
Timeout well spent on that. They decided to go with it, talked it over. Do we go with a kick? Do we go with the extra point so we can get an extra one in there, 15-12? Mike explained it so that they would be 3 up if it came to it, and they did it with the passing. Haven't gone to the air very much, but when they had to, Joe Morales that time came across for the extra point. Scoring drive in 8 plays, 37 yards, took 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And
they took advantage of that fumble on the kickoff, and they have the lead for the first time in the ball game. But there's plenty of football left. We've got 8:32 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. 15-12 score. 3-point lead now for Admiral King. And there you're looking at Bill Providence.
Watch curling that now. You understand? Don't get beat with that. You know, because they're going that 12 yards out or curl, right? Don't get behind you.
Don't get beat on that curl, because they know Dunn can throw. Kicking will be Guerreri, who just caught that extra point after. Helms and let's go deep. This one goes to Helms at the 12. Again, gets some running room and gets cut down. Bringing them down was Matakovic. So Finley will start off. First down from their own 30, let's call it 38. Now the defense has to do their part.
Well, the offense moved that ball. Let's see what the defense does. They were in a 5-2. We could see the first half. It looks like the same defensive formation for Admiral King.
They're split right and slot right. And off fullback. This is Sprouse. No place to go.
Oh, did he get hit?
Boy, they're fired up. Willie Moore put his head right into Sprouse and stopped him. No gain. 2nd and 10. They have Musa in at the split end. And Helms is slotted again in the near side. Dunn throws. Helms gets it. Look for the first down. And just by about a yard as he just rolls over.
Well, they're trying to say, if we get a chance to see it, they're trying to say that that ball hit on the ground and moved down. Admiral King's happy with this. Okay, it's going to go over here, but it's not going to be recovery. It's going to come back, and it's not going to count.
It's going to be called an incompletion.
Exactly.
That was carry on that hit. Helms is winged out to the near side. Ritzler split to the left. Dunn looks for Ritzler. Dunn lets it go. Ritzler pulls it in. Morales was there, but not soon enough. Reed Gelb also there, the linebacker. But Dunn, great job in passing. He's still perfect, sitting 7 for 7.
This time he's going to roll out to his left. Comes across. There's no pressure on him at all. Mark Ritzler goes down, knows where the first down marker is, curls back on the play. You can see what he had to beat. He did it, and he worked his way down the field and came up with a first down. Another good passing attack from Dunn to Ritzler.
That's exactly what Coach Provident was talking about, that curl in. Good first down for the Trojans. Dunn again, throws, pulls this one in. This is Mike Ben. Morales, and again, Gelb there in the stop, but not until Dunn is finding his target and picking up first downs. They get it all the way to the 36.
Dunn firing that ball. Mike Ben on the receiving end. A lot of different receivers. He's throwing against this fine 5-2 defense between the cornerbacks, the deep backs, and the monster. They've had 17 interceptions. It's a team that intercepts the ball. Right now, they haven't been able to come up with any. Dunn is still perfect throwing that ball. He now has, he did miss the one. He has 8 out of 9, 111 yards. The one he missed is the one that took place here that started out as a completion, but then he didn't have possession of the ball as he went down. It got away from him. So he has really been able to throw that ball. Timeout down on the field call by the Findlay Trojans.
And they being Admiral King, has given Findlay that little curl pass, and that's just about where every completion has been.
Well, the deep backs, they really rely on the linebackers and the front five for Admiral King, because the deep backs do play a little bit deeper than a lot of defenses that we've seen through the year, which should take away the deep pass, but they have been curling up underneath, going 10, 12 yards, coming back, and Ritzler and Helm especially have been running just beautiful pass patterns, real sharp and crisp. They cut, they come back, and it seems like Dunn has worked well, especially with Ritzler and Helm, because they know just where they're going to be on the field.
Clock is stopped with 6:59 to go, third quarter. It's a 15-12 ball game. The three-point lead enjoyed by Lorain Admiral King. And we have Musa in at the split end, and the slot is Helms to the near side. Dunn, pitch back, this one to Bradigan. And he is forced out of bounds hard. Great defensive play by Matakovic, the monster.
Well, they've come to play football tonight, both teams. You can see now the defense very strong on the play that time for Admiral King coming up. Played the option perfect with the end coming down hard on the quarterback, the outside man taking the trailer back on the option play.
Let's see what Sam Dunn is going to call on this one. They've got the end split to the left with a slot left. 2nd and 9. Dunn again looking for Ritzler, and he's going to be sacked for a loss. All the way back to the 39. Good defensive play leading that one was Ortiz, Moore, and Petticord.
Rolling to the power that he had with the flanker, the split end out wide. Ritzler seems to be open on the side, but he just couldn't see him get across there. And Ortiz, Petticord, Willie Moore come and put on the finishing touches. Good hit.
So Findlay now has a 3rd and 12. And they've got a slot and in split to the right. Dunn looks to the right, going deep for Wetzler, throws it short, and no flag. That is a good defensive play by Carrion.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to look at it. It was a tight defensive play. Quarterback Dunn. First he's looking downfield. He pumps. Now he sees a short man coming across. He came up. He reached across. I don't know if he hit him or not, but he got the right hand down there in front, so you have to give him credit for a pretty good job at defensive safety man.
And now it's 8 for 10 for Dunn. His intended receiver was Larry Helms, the flanker. And they're going 4th and 12, and they're going to go for it. Dunn looks for Helms. Intercepted. That was Bob Carrion, the senior's free safety. And that ball Dunn would have loved to have back because he threw where Helms was. Helms came to the sideline and went right past him, goes in the hands of Bob Carrion, and another big break for the Admirals.
Larry Helms now coming down on here. Dunn is seeing him now as he wants to throw it, and Helms trying to scramble after it. You see Helms is down because he saw the pass. He was trying to get back to where the play was. He couldn't do it. Safety man came up with the interception to the sideline.
So it's a first down for the Kings. West picks up about 3, brought down by Alcott. But not until he gets to the 33-yard line. Back in goes Carrion. Out comes Lindsay. Carrion, the free safety, but is also bringing in plays from Coach Bill Provident. He's using Lindsay and Carrion to bring him in. And there's Lindsay. 2nd and 7. And a fake pitch to West gives it to Willie Moore. What makes that Guerreri? Marshall, the free safety, with help from the monster back Mullen had to bring him down. But Guerreri picked up some good yardage on that. They even went thought with that sweep. It's a good counter play to that pitch out they give to West, hand off on the inside to Guerreri, and they pick up enough for a first down.
Exactly, the misdirection, because you had West going one way and you just had Guerreri come back on the inside.
This time West does get it. Puts his head down on the right side of that line and picks up another 3 yards. 4:54 to go, 3rd quarter, 15-12 the score. Lorain Admiral King leading it by 3. They now have a 2nd and 8 on their own 48. Jerry Evans, number 82, a 6'4", 198-pound junior. Goes in at tight end on the right side. In fact, both ends are tight. Goes Evans, he pulls it in, loses it, incomplete. Never had control. He got a real hit by Steve Marshall.
Jerry Evans, number 82, works out of the left side. I remember Mike mentioned both ends in. When we saw him go in with the extra split end, we knew he was a good receiver, went up high for it. Just as he was trying to get it back down, he got hit pretty good, and the ball never had possession, so it goes as an incomplete pass.
And Evans makes a great target at 6'4". 3rd and 8 now for the Admirals. And this is Guerreri. He is caught in the backfield for a loss all the way back to the 43. First hit was made by Greg Miller, the linebacker, and then gets help from Jay Vieira. So that'll bring up a punting situation for Lorain.
The last time they had the short misdirection or coming back. This is the wide one, but there's just a good defensive play to drive it in back. Greg Miller, number 58, stopped that play.
Punting will be Carrico, and he'll be punting to Helms. Helms standing at about his own 20. Gets a roll inside, and it goes out of bounds about the 15. That was a 41-yarder. The last 3 punts by Carrico have been excellent. And now the fans are starting to get in the game. 3:29 to go, 3rd quarter. First down for Findlay from their own 15. Dunn gives off to Bradigan. He goes off the left side and spins his way across the 20.
Back with the run on that play to Bradigan. Sure, they're going to go back to what they did early, is just to mix up the run and the pass. Here it is, a cross action in the backfield, a good barehanded fake by the quarterback, then giving it off to 31 Bradigan. But the defensive team came up pretty good stick on the play, but it's a nice first down call. They picked up the yards they'd like on a first down play.
Picked up 5 tough yards. Bradigan really fought for them, so it makes it 2nd and 5. Bradigan gets the call again. They picked up 3. And bring up a 3rd and 2. It'll be a long 2. Betancourt, Ortez, Orlando in on that stop. Out comes Perry. In goes Dave, the Principe.
Senior at 5'8", 167, linebacker.
And they've got Ritzler split to the left, and they've got the flanker out here to the right. 3rd and 3. Wants to get it away, and he does. This is Mike Benn, the tight end, and he gets a first down by about a yard. The monster back was covering him, John Matakovich, and he hit him just as he got the ball. But Ben, 6'3", 200-pound senior, was able to pull it in and give enough for a first down.
Short pass is what's been so successful for them. Just a fake now. That's Bradigan taking the good fake. Dunn setting up, hitting the left side. Mike Benn and coming across on a play. Not a lot of yards on it, but just enough that they needed to get the first down.
Just inside 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Again, take to the air. Helms from just behind him.
Oh, there was a mix-up defensively on the backs that time for Admiral King on the look-in pass to Larry Helms coming across. Somebody neglected to pick up Tony Musa, number 20. He was going down the sideline. He was wide open on the play. You know they saw it up here. They'll go back to it, but by that time, the Admirals will have a chance to adjust the defense.
And Helm comes wide again to the right, and Ritzler to the left. Looks for Ritzler. Ritzler's going deep. He's got it. It's going to be a foot race. He's at the 20, the 10, touchdown. What it was is that curl in, immediately Morales came up, and then Ritzler just turned and took off, and Dunn laid it out there beautifully. So the Findlay Trojan fans take the lead again.
See this one again, quarterback Sam Dunn. Now, he faked it. You can see the arm going up, and instead of just coming in 12, 14 yards, that time, number 16, Mark Ritzler, went down deep, laid out beautifully, soft throw. Mark did the rest, and he struts into that end zone. 6 more on the board for Findlay.
That's Ritzler's 4th reception for 120 yards. And his 2nd touchdown completion. The point after is good. So the score is Findlay 8-19 and Lorain Admiral King 15 with 1:33 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Sam Dunn has kept the Trojans in this ball game. It started with the running of Sprouse, then the running of Bradigan, but the arm of Dunn tying up with Mark Ritzler, his split end, who now has 5 TD passes, 2 of them in this game for the season.
Worth looking at again. Again, quarterback going left. There was the fake pump on the play. Just set it up, tossed it out just enough in front of Ritzler to give him a chance to put on the speed. Look at him shift that ball to the outside in case he gets hit. He's protecting it between his arm and the sideline, so it has to go that way. But he didn't need that because he went all the way on the TD.
And that's Ferrara, who is going to be doing the kicking. West will be deep. And coming out to the 35-yard line is Joe Morales, who does a little bit of everything, doesn't he? He runs back,
does it well.
He's a quarterback, and he also is a cornerback on defense. So the Kings now lose their lead. And it's 4-point lead for Findlay. And that's went a long way, 85 yards in under 2 minutes. And of course, it's on the arm of Dunn. Morales on a counter goes off to Guerreri. And he runs into Mike Ben, the left defensive end, who stayed at home, and they lose a couple.
And you can see the momentum now with the Findlay Ball Club. Very happy about it. Their offense did it for them. So now the defense is back on it. That's that play coming back, crossed on the field with Guerreri coming across. But good defense again. That's twice in a row they've stopped that play.
Carry on, split to the right. And the option play, cutting it up, is Morales. He may have picked up a couple of yards. Dave Tate. Now the right end, the left end just staying at home. That'll bring up a 3rd and about 7. In comes Jeff Lindsay. We'll be bringing in a play from Coach Providence with a 3rd and 7. 9, 8, 7 seconds to go in the quarter. And they're down by 4. And they will not get that play off. So they score it again at the end of the 3rd quarter. It's Findlay in 19 and Lorain Admiral King 15. And we'll be right back after these messages. Come back to the George Daniels Field, where Lorain Admiral King is down by 4. They have a 3rd and 7 with the ball spotted on their own 37. And this is going to be the final 12 minutes of regulation. Both teams just vying for playoff. Last week, they lost. The only time that Findlay has stumbled, that was against Fremont Ross. They were in first place, Division I, Region 3. They dropped to 3rd place. A win here will certainly get them back into the playoffs because of the undefeated season that Admiral King has. Admiral King on the other side of the coin, if they get a win here, they'll be guaranteed a berth because they're in 2nd place, and they'll pick up a ton of 2nd-level points from Findlay. Plus, they'll pick up a championship. They can do no less, though, than a tie. Big 3rd down play. Morales wants to throw. Looks across the middle. And no interference call on this one.
That's what everybody was looking for on the play. The defender coming across, but one official was coming up from one angle, the other had it from the other, and neither one threw the flag. So let's see if we can get it with the camera. Morales going back, firing across the middle right now.
Oh, well.
Everybody make up their own mind on it.
And, well, the marshal is the one who is down, and he was the one who was involved, I think, in that play.
Mike, with 3 quarters completed, with the score 19-15, Findlay on top. There have been 44 plays for Admiral King in 3 quarters, 91 rushing, 21 passing, a total of 112 for 17 minutes and 15 seconds. For Findlay, 49 plays, 77 yards rushing, 188 through the airway, 265 yards. They've had the ball for over 18 minutes. So the big difference has been the total yards passing. Quarterback Dunn putting that ball up in the air. Both teams now playing exceptionally good football, moving the ball. The offense has been great, but the defense has been that good. It's just been that kind of game. There's some good, crisp, hard tackling, good defensive plays. You can see that time on the pass defense. The cuts are sharp. They're just 2 great football teams. You can see why they're beating everybody. Just 1 loss between them in 10 weeks of football.
Good to see that Jeff Marshall goes off under his own power. It's a 4th and 7. So the Admirals will be punting away. It is Mike Carrico. It's a good high kick. Fair catch called and taken by Helms at the 35. It was only a 29-yarder, well below the last three that have been in the 40s for Carrico. Well, we still have 11 minutes and 49 seconds, but the defense is not going to be able to allow the Trojans to hang onto this ball and play ball control. They've got to get it back. And this one goes to Bradigan. He slips forward, and they will spot the ball at the 39.
Again, set up a Dunn with a nice hand. A lot of quarterbacks don't have a bare-handed fake anymore. They hold on the ball with two hands, but when you get that bare-handed fake in there, it gets the ball closer into your body, and it gives just that much more of a difficult look for the front five and the linebackers. Dunn does an exceptional good job when the backs cross with the ball handling plays.
Bradigan with 12 carries and 37 yards. After that 4-yard pickup, makes it 2nd and 6. There's a bare-handed handoff. There goes Bradigan. And he slips 2 tackles. He's got some blockers in front of him. He's finally driven down, but not until he gets to the 32-yard line of Admiral King. That was Morales and Matakovich who finally had to stop him, but just great power running, slipping tackles, breaking arm tackles.
Okay, you can see now there's a fake in there, and that just gives that offensive line just that other half second they need. They're crisp. They fire out off of that ball exceptionally fast. They get into the defenders fast, and you get a good back, and he does the rest. John Bradigan, 31, moving down there. Try to go the outside. Couldn't get any room there and just plowed through. Got a few extra yards for his offense.
Helms is flanked out wide to the right. Again, Fritzler is split to the left. The handoff goes to Sprouse. So he's still on his feet, and he gets inside the 25 to about the 22, 23. Close to a first down. Boy, that line is charging off, and the runners are doing the rest.
A display of strength right there. 6'3", 228. Size, speed, strength, he has it all. The big back moved on that play. You see that line is fired out. The back takes care of it. There's the drive we're talking about. He goes after it. He's going after that first down.
And they're about 7 inches short. 10:35 to go.
Is that 7 or 8 inches, Mike?
7 inches. Couldn't you read the official's lips? You were watching the replay.
I could tell.
Second down. Well, you got 2 running backs like Bradigan and Sprouse. And Sprouse gets the first down, and look at him move, and a flag. And that could be a face mask.
Sprouse down to about the 10-yard line, flag on the field. Not going to play, number 16, Joe Morales.
Well, a lot of talking here. Oh, personal foul one way, but a face mask the other way. So that's what the discussion was from 2 different officials. They're going to negate each other.
Brian, we have a young man limping off the field, Morales, for Admiral King, who plays quarterback. He was limping off, and the trainers are now looking at him on the bench. They can ill afford to lose their quarterback. And he also does a good job defensively as a cornerback. So they bring it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Full foul on white offense and a face mask on blue defense. Offsetting, the down goes over.
And it will be a second and a matter of inches again. goes Sprouse again. He gets about the same yardage. He gets to the 18. Petticourt is there.
Well, they hit up strong when they're balanced, and that time they're unbalanced to the left. They have the extra blocker. You almost know that's where they're going to go, but how are you going to stop it when they're strong? They're big. You can see right there, big. It's 271 pounds. Jamie Logston, number 76.
As we mentioned, everyone in that offensive line has been a starter for 2 years.
And it shows.
Oh, it sure does. First down for Finley. They've got a 4-point lead, and they hand off to Sprouse again, the fullback. Tries to go off right tackle. Lee Harvey is right there.
Hey, how about that defense, though? Again, unbalanced this time to the right. And knew where they were going with it would be up play to the right side, but the defense very, very strong that time, stopping the first down play.
Of course, the Admirals have got to be getting awful tired. They have 6 kids who go 2 ways. You know, they've got Harvey goes 2 ways, Petticourt 2 ways, Orlando 2 ways, Gelb 2 ways is the center on offense. So 2nd and 10. This one is Bradigan, and he is tripped over the body of Matakovic. He gets inside the 15 to about the 13. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4, 5, long 4. Clock showing 8:41. The Admirals cannot afford to allow the Trojans to get into the end zone in this one, because they're down by 4. 3 they could take. Looking, completes this one to Ritzler, and he gets into the end zone, and a flag. Boy, he caught that and just avoided everyone and just went against the grain, but a flag is dropped.
Flag on the play. It's going against the offense.
Finley.
Going to be a clip over in the corner, and once he changed directions and came across on the far sideline, it was a nice direction to come across. He got the touchdown apparently, but when you do that, everybody back turns a little bit, you turn around and the blocking angle is taken away. That's where the clip occurs.
We have flipping offense. Replay the down.
Mike,
good down.
Okay, you can see on the replay now, Bradigan was taken out of the play. Retzler, the split end, was put in the backfield. He came out of the backfield on that play, and no one picked him up. And across the grain here, but the clip took place in the corner. Here they go.
So it'll be a 3rd and 12. And again, Ritzler comes in motion. And he's going for Helms. Go, Ritzler! Tries the same play, but does not get the same results. He is stopped at the 17.
Well, they picked up on it that time perfect. He was just smothered before he could get out on the play. Just no room. Quarterback Dunn went to the, actually his backfield man, usually a split end, but coming out the backfield, man in motion.
He was looking for Helms cutting across the middle. He was defended well, dropped it off to Ritzler. If the defense held on that, it's a 4th and 12, and they will go for it. And they have Ritzler wide to the left with Helms in the slot to the left. For the short man, no first down. Matakovic was able to prevent that first down. Pulling that one in, it was Hollenbach. Hollenbach, the senior, who was one of the tight ends. So the defense for Admiral King is held. They'll take over first down from their own 15. They're down by 4 points. 19 to 15. Clock showing 7:15 remaining in the ball game. And that's 85 long yards. Morales, though, is in at quarterback. Big hand off to West, looking for the deep man. It's going to be intercepted. No! 2 of them were there. Marshall had his hands on it. Also there was Steve Benn. The intended receiver was Guerrari. There's Marshall, number 28, a senior.
Morales coming with one fake. Short roll out to the right. Look at the pressure coming in there. Boy, is he getting it from the far side. Dave Tate, he had to get that ball, got it up a little bit high. Now the defense is coming back for it. Two men didn't quite stationary. Oh, he almost had it. Number 28 was Jeff Marshall. Got away from him.
Now they've got a 2nd and 10. Carry on as the ends split to the right. In the slot goes Guerreri. Got time and completes this one to Guerreri. Enough for the first down as he gets across the 30 to the 33. Mullen, the monster back, was there, but Morales laid it in there beautifully, right on the numbers.
Morales came to the right side. He sees Guerreri coming across. He rifles this one. He spotted him in between the linebacker. Look at the velocity on that. Hit him right where he needed on the numbers. No doubt about it, a first down.
6:35 to go in the game. Morales pitch back West. He puts his head down and he gets about 5-6 yards where Sprouse strips him up. And we have an injured Trojan on the field. That official stopped the clock. 6:13 to go. And now Morales 2 of 13. But they were big ones. That was an important pass there to keep that drive going. West now 79 yards and 20 carries. Bradigan 73 and 14 carries. Sprouse 96, leading all ball carriers with 19 carries. But Bradigan had that 129-yarder, which gave him all those yards. But West has been a busy ball carrier. He's got 20. Guerreri has only got 3, and Moore only 3.
And you know, West is going to be moving with that ball. Morales is going to put it in the air, keep moving up, although there's plenty of time there. They can alternate between the run and the pass as long as they keep that ball and keep the drive going.
So Mike Penn runs off the field at 6'4", 200-pound. Good all-around athlete. Leaves the game, and I think Dave Schultz, the senior, will be coming in. Defense here from Findlay wants to hold and preserve this victory. It's a 2nd and 5 for the Admirals. Again, West goes over the right side. No place to go. The defense on good pursuit shut it off on the short side, led by Greg Miller. Also there, Steve Ben, Mike's brother. They spotted right on the 40. So that'll give them a 3rd and 3, another critical 3rd down situation. Carry on, brings in the play. Do you throw it or do you try and run it? I'll tell you, they're not giving him the short side of the field the way the defensive is lined up. Morales on the pitch. Morales is hit by Dave Tate. Ball goes awry, and it's covered by Findlay.
After the play, there's a flag been thrown down in there somewhere in the pile, so the ball goes over to Findlay, but then we'll see what the call is, but it seemed to be after dead ball.
Yeah, that's even going to cost Admiral King a little more.
Dave Tate, couple of tough defensive plays on the last series.
Greg Miller covered that for Findlay. And that is a big break for the Trojans, because not only did they take over the ball, and you add 15 yards to that, that takes it all the way to the 15. And they'll take over first down. And the clock showing 5:17 to go in the game.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense. First down.
See it right in here. Tate, that's 66 coming in. The ball is loose. Quarterback, halfback didn't have a chance on the play because of the defensive big man coming up.
Dunn pitches back to Bradigan, and he's cutting the backfield for a loss. Nice defensive play by the monster back, Matukovic. Lee Harvey, after the pitch off, gave a good, put a good hit on Sam Dunn.
Good defensive team. They play their keys well. They come up. Everybody is covered. Good, sure tacklers.
And now we have Matakovich with 5 solos, Carrion with 6, and Kelb with 6. Second and 16. Dunn, hands off to Sprouse. Boy, he gets through that hole so quickly. Finally, Matakovich had to hang on by the ankles to bring him down.
Well, he moved there. Again, it was unbalanced left. Just power football to the left side. He just gets such a quick acceleration by the time that quarterback has a spin, front spin. Big guy from the halfback position moves to the left. There had to be some sharp blocks in there because he had room to maneuver.
And that gives him 109 yards on 20 carries. 3rd and 3. And this one again goes to Sprouse. He'll be close to a first down. It looks like he may be a little short. Ortez and Moore in on that stop. It's going to be a 4th and about a yard.
The last 2 plays have been unbalanced line. One to the left, one to the right. They go to the unbalanced side. After they did this before, then they had Bradgate come to the weak side and picked up some big yards last time. Let's see what they call on 4th and 1.
Well, the way Sprouse has been running. Sprouse gets the call at the first down as he gets about the 5. Petticord was there. He held his ground, but was pushed back just enough to give them the first down. And they have an injured Admiral King player now. It's down. That stops the clock with 2:53 remaining in the game. Finley with the ball. They'll have a 1st and goal from the 6, and they are enjoying right now have a 4-point lead. And that's Ortez, the middle guard, who's played a whale of a ball game. And Ortez gets up.
Oh, look at that. 22 carries, 114 yards for the halfback Sprouse. Brannigan, 15 carries, 67. Wow, Dunn, 12 of 16 for 193 yards and 2 touchdowns. How's that for some offense? Receivers, 5 catches for Retzler from the split end, 123 yards. Helms, 3 for 39 yards. And Ben, 3 catches for 29 yards. Pretty good passing, receiving. Finley Trojans, very strong offensively.
And 2 touchdown passes for Retzler and 1 touchdown run for Sprouse. That's passing it around a bit, isn't it? West now has 81 yards and 21 carries. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone here at the George Daniels Field. I'll get into that in a minute, right after this play. It's a 1st and goal from the 6th. Sprouse gets inside the 5. You know, the quality of football here in the Buckeye Conference is probably second to none. And we've never been able to get out here because we couldn't get the power. And this is going to be such a big game and so important to both schools, and to be able to show the people of the greater Cleveland area the quality of football play here. The Board of Education and the superintendent and Fred Churchill, the athletic supervisor, had the power brought down so we could televise this ball game. And their cooperation has just been invaluable, and we want to thank them so very much. It's just been absolutely super. Sprouse again! It is close. No call yet. Minute 42 to go. And it's about the 1-foot line as a timeout is called by Admiral King. Also want to thank Bill Provident, the head coach of Admiral King, for his cooperation, as well as Dan Evans and his staff from Finley. And of course, our camera in the end zone on the man lift, and that's the only way it works. We'd like to thank the Atlas Electric Company, based in Leary, Ohio. The industrial electrical contractors. It's the 2nd week in a row that they've made this available to us. Last week we were down at Leary Catholic, and now here. We want to thank them for their generosity. With only a minute and 39 to go, you've got a 4-point lead. You're sitting about the 1 or 2 foot line. You got 2 cracks to try and put it in. And you're going for a playoff berth and a tie here in the Buckeye Conference. You said at the top it was going to be a game that meant so much to so many people. That's all the farther they have to go.
They're really 2 great football teams, both offensively and defensively. Both teams very sharp tonight.
Oh, well, that doesn't really mean that much unless they were drawn off. It does. It could hurt Finley. They see the call, and Finley is walking backwards, so that means it's going to be a 5-yard penalty. That'll take him just outside the 5. That makes it a little different.
Sure does. All penalties are rough, but that is a big one right on the goal line.
Coach Dan Evans in his 2nd year sends into play. Brannigan and Sprouse are the running backs. Emerson a wishbone. Dunn wants to throw, looks, and completes. Touchdown. That was Brian Elcott, who is a backup fullback, and the senior loves it. He also is a linebacker. At 6'2", he made a great target, and Dunn hit him, and that makes it 25-15. And now Ritzler will try the point after. Almost blocked. That one is good. Charging in. Was Lindsay, just missed it.
Well, the penalty took place. They had to go for it. They only had about a foot to go, a 5-yard penalty on the illegal procedure. So they came with it, a gutsy call, a pass in the end zone. They cleared it out with the end going out, going all the way to the corner, taking it back. The second man up under goes up for the pass. Number 32, Brian Alcott, in the backfield position. He's played a lot of ball game at the linebacker on the 4-3 alignment for Finley.
Well, Villara will get ready to kick as the jubilant Trojans of Finley are enjoying an 11-point lead. Back deep, we have Wes, Morales, and Guerrero. Picks it up at his own 20. He broke one off for about 80-some yards earlier in this season. It's a loose ball, but I think West was down. Let's see if that was just a fumble or he tried the lateral, Brian.
See if he tried to get off. It looked like he tried to let it loose on that number 16. Get a chance to see it. Okay, that's Eric West, number 19, picking it up, coming up now. Looks like he may break it somewhat. Now he knows he's stopped. Right in here, there's the ball. There's somebody behind him. Somebody help me out. Take it in here. He was going to lateral, but he brought it back in. But the body went one way, the ball was the other, but it was not a fumble.
That's a minute and 12, and the clock is running. They're down by 11. They've got a first down from their own 44. Across the middle, and no flag on that one. The intended receiver was Jerry Evans, the 6'4" junior, and Doug Sprouse is there defending. Down to 1 minute exactly. They want some big targets in there, and they have them now. Just could not find the handle. intended receiver was Guerreri, and he just could not find the handle, so it goes for an incompletion, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 10. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage this year of high school football. We have one more game remaining, and that's going to be the city championship. We played next Friday night. One of the teams that will be in will be John Adams, and they've got 2 exciting running backs. Oh, he almost got blindsided. If he'd have gone straight, he'd have had the first down. Now he does, and he gets out of bounds. Very heady running.
Very good.
Stop, 46 seconds.
Joe Morales took care of 2 things. He got the first down, which he needed on the play, went out of bounds. There is a flag on the play back in the backfield area of Lorain Admiral King. Here's the quarterback now. He's looking for the pass, trying to get it off. Again, pressure by Dave Tate from the right side. He moves up. He knows where the down marker is. He wants to get the first down and out of bounds to stop the clock. He can take care of both of those. Flag on the play. The officials now are talking.
Lorain Unsportsmanlike that way and that way. It's offsetting. 4th down.
So an unsportsmanlike conduct. But they had the first down and more. They were all the way to Finley's 40. Back in comes Eric West. But I'll tell you what, Morelli stepped up into that pocket just in the nick of time, because charging down on him was big junior Dave Tate, number 66. He spends a lot of time in the Admiral King backfield this ball game.
Came across at a very strong second half defensively.
It's been an excellent football game. A lot of good hard hitting, some good passing, especially in the person of Dunn, and some excellent running. So they take it all the way to the 40. First down.
First one of our ends.
Clock showing 46 seconds to go in the game. And Finley with an 11-point lead, 26-15. On a draw play to West, and the Trojans read that beautifully. West gets right back to the line of scrimmage. Mike Bend was right there, along with Jim Schaefer, as Admiral King calls timeout. Clock now showing 37 seconds, and that's King's last timeout. Bill Provident trying to get the first undefeated season for Lorain Admiral King Admirals. And it looks like he won't get it, but he has had, in the last 2 seasons, 9-2 records. Or 8-2 records, pardon me, and he was 9, he'll be 9-1 this season.
Pretty good football. We could see why they were undefeated coming into this football game. Both quality teams. We knew this was going to be a great football game, Mike, and went down for the conference, which they're part of, but Finley needed this game so bad to keep continuing on with their ranking. Admiral King, Finley Trojans, 2 very good football teams going at it tonight.
Well, Fremont Ross wins tonight. It'll be a 3-way tie for the Buckeye Conference Championship. With Morales and there's Tate. Just couldn't hang on. Carry on, couldn't. Going back with him is Schaefer, but there was Tate again. He moves pretty quick for a 190-pounder. He's already had 6 sacks so far this season. That stops the clock. 32 seconds to go, and it'll be a 3rd down for Lorain Admiral King. 3rd and 10. I'll make it 11. West lost about a yard in that draw play. Yeah, Morales gets away, gets the ball away. And incomplete. The intended receiver was Jeff Lindsay. Right there with him was Steve Ben. As a matter of fact, Lindsay had to go over Ben, so make sure Ben didn't intercept.
He sure did, and Morales did a fine job because he was really stopped in the backfield. Almost lost the ball, as you could see, got it back, and just presence of mind continued on with the play. The receiver kept going down the field. Lindsay down deep. Morales let loose with that ball.
Well, makes it 4th and 11. 23 seconds to go. Statistically, West with 81 yards and 22 carries. Of course, the real ground gainer with 118 was Sprouse. Underthrown for carry-on. 67 yards for Pattingham. But of course, Dunn with his arm, 13 of 17, 198 yards. Threw for 2 touchdowns. Coming into this game, he thrown for 7. So that ends the possession for Admiral King, and it ends as far as the game is concerned. Any opportunities? 19 seconds to go. Of course, it was really over in a matter of about a minute and a half ago.
Good sportsmanship after
the score. But a good season, a great season for Providence. 9-1. They could still make the playoffs. Finley goes to 9-1, and Dunn just sits on it. No more timeouts remaining, and Finley will allow the clock to run out.
Okay, line up.
And Dunn really passed it around. Richley with 5 receptions and 123 yards. I mentioned 2 touchdowns. Helms had 3 receptions. Ben 3. Alcott had 1. And also Hollenbeck, who came in for the 1 play, had 1 reception. The final score is Admiral King 15 and Finley 26. And as I said, it's going to be 3 penalties. So an excellent ball.
You got keys to the joint?
Yes, I do.
Man, you're like the mayor, huh? Oh yeah, now this is what I remember. This is exactly
These
what I
lockers
remember.
came from Southie.
I remember these
Raymond
ones.
Harris's locker is right here.
Raymond Harris?
Yep.
He went through the program. Now this is what I remember. This is the old locker room.
This used to be the football drying room, and then it became the basketball storage, and now it's a baseball storage, and this is what it looks like from inside. It looks like World War III, but
what's the band going in there? Oh, the old...
We used to hang all the varsity jerseys, the JV varsity freshman jerseys. We got all cushion new chairs.
Nice. Titans, yeah. Where's some old Admiral King stuff? You got it? You keep all that stuff?
Oh, by the way, let me see.
So when they planning on tearing the place down?
First week of August.
First week of August they're starting? Oh,
yep.
Damn, so they got to clear this place out.
I got to find something. I don't know if it's buried or...
They still got that big trunk from the basketball? Just carry that damn thing around?
No, that got destroyed. These are the old Southie pants.
What are you looking for? Some old King stuff?
Well, I kind of gave everything away.
Oh, yeah?
That was Admiral King. I got Admiral King baseball jerseys in my truck I'm trying to sell.
They trying to sell? This is what I remember. This door, and then this was like, these locked ribbons. But this was the old, where they all used to hang out, or the teachers used to be.
Well, this right here was the prison office. There used to be a football office in there.
Exactly. This was that desk was spun around the other way.
Mitch Gillum's locker right there.
Mitch Gillum's locker.
Never been. Now it's Brad Turner's locker for baseball, but
haven't touched it, huh?
Has not been touched.
Holy crap!
So let me see.
Yeah, back in the day, man, this is where I saw Nesbitt on in his drawers, just sitting there. Oh, yeah, we gotta take a look. 95, 96, 16 and 4. Nice. Wow. That was 96? Oh, there you go. Prom done. Now that 2002 though. We need some stuff in the 90s. That's still old.
You could shut that door and. No, the lights in here are bad because they burn out the lights. But this is our basketball. Coach's office here. The locker room's right here.
Oh,
for
wow.
Basketball.
I don't think I've ever been in. What's this other thing?
This used to be the football storage. We used to have shelves in here for football.
Nice. I don't remember that. Yeah, I don't remember this. This
There used to be a divider here, but we put screws in it, and this thing opened up and used to hang out the football jerseys.
I got you.
The freshman JV football games used to be played behind the school here a long time ago.
Yeah, this locker room doesn't smells the same as it did.
Well,
Oh, Duziak. I don't know when that one is.
Duziak came
What's
from
his first
Lorain
name?
High.
What first name? Jeff?
Jeff Duziak.
Oh, yeah, I played soccer with him. I didn't know that he was he a coach?
He used to be a coach.
Not anymore. Yeah, I've known him since I was little too. Where's the old showers too? They were still back here?
Oh yeah.
Back over here?
Yep.
Damn. I had 9th period gym, so I didn't have to take showers. Oh yeah, there they are. Stank showers. Oh yeah. Some pinball stuff. Man. I don't think they're going to make the new high school the same way.
Well, it's going to be...
They're not going to have all these nooks and crannies and stuff, you know?
Well, it's going to be state of the art, so...
Yeah, they're not going to have any more nooks and crannies and stuff. Which way are we going out of here? What's this? What's in this one? Out. Man, it's been a long time.
But, not a good memories in here.
Oh yeah. That's for sure.
So,
what else is there? I don't remember. That was it. There's mom. All right. Thanks, Mad Dog. I'm trying to think what else there is. That's about it. The old women's locker room, which we've never seen inside.
let me see what I have.
Man, that was cool.
Now, women's locker room, you want to see that? I'd like to see that. That thing has not been touched.
There's my mom.
I mean, think about it. The women's locker room, the lockers have not even been taken out at all.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember. I don't think I've ever been in there. I mean, this locker room smells the way that it was 50 years ago. These lockers used to be gold, all gold, and then they repainted them blue. And then, there's a lot of them.
As you can see, I mean, it has not been...
Yeah, I can't remember these on the other side. That's what was on the other side too, right? Back in the day for...
Back in the heyday. This is Ken Jackson's office. So...
Cool. Sweet. It's nicer. It still looks nicer than the dudes. Oh, what classroom is this?
This used to be another weight room. Then they became...
Classroom?
Then it became a classroom.
Huh. Very cool. All right, Mad Dog.
So a lot of good memories.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's Mr. Popio. How you doing, Bill?
You said that twice.
More now than ever see you.
Thanks, Mad Dog.
What's going on, buddy?
I was looking for the old soccer trophies, but I don't think they have any.